How y'all doing this afternoon? Good. Well, I appreciate y'all having me here. Thanks, Sam, for coordinating this and General Tant. It's an honor to be here and be able to spread the word about what's going on in the veteran community and what we're trying to do here in the Low Country to try to prevent some of the veteran suicides that we are occurring. So a little bit more in depth about my story. Just like Sam was saying, I joined the Marine Corps, went to boot camp about a month and a half after 9/11. Ended up going to MP school, K-9 school, which was the best thing in the world. I actually got paid by the government to play with dogs every day. The best job to have in the military. But it did send me over to Iraq. I deployed with 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines as a bomb dog handler. Did about a 9.5-month pump with them. When I came home, I had every intentions on re-enlisting and staying in the Marine Corps. I loved what I was doing and loved our mission. But a little company called Blackwater had just received their $1 billion contract with the Department of State, and they recruited me. So I ended up going back to Iraq as a civilian contractor through Blackwater, working in support of the Department of State. Unfortunately, at the end of 2007, I was injured during a training exercise. I ripped my kneecap off, and that kind of ended my contracting career. Well, my wife now, but girlfriend at the time, was living in New York City. So I moved in with her when I came home, and that's where I had my operations and going through rehab and things. But that's where I really started to deal with my own PTSD and my own issues. As you can imagine, after spending 3 years consecutively in Iraq, I moved to a city of about 8-9 million people, and I didn't feel like I really had anything in common with anybody up there. So I isolated myself in a 600 square foot apartment where my girlfriend, wife now, like I said, was living. And as you know, idle mind is the devil's playground, and that's, again, where I really started to struggle. I moved back up to upstate New York. I'm originally from upstate, just outside of Ithaca. Grew up working dairy farms and things like that. Moved back up there because my father was getting a little bit older and had some ailments, and I wanted to spend some time with him. As soon as I moved back up there, let me back up a little bit real quick. When you're in high school and you're getting recruited by different recruiters for the different branches, once you sign up, they try to get you to get all your friends to join. It just makes their job a little easier. Well, I ended up convincing my best friend, Francis McNally, to join. And he grew up 2 doors down from me, out in the country. We grew up having BB gun wars with each other and playing sports and video games, chasing girls, did a lot of different things together. But we went in the Marine Corps. We had different paths, different MOSs, and he ended up on the West Coast. I ended up right back here on the East Coast. Well, as soon as I moved back to upstate New York, I was at a restaurant bar one evening with my wife, and a classmate that we had graduated high school with was like, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing?" "Oh, good." "Hey, did you hear about Francis?" "No, where's he at? What's going on?" "Well, last week he took a shotgun to his head and blew his head off." And that was the first of 21 guys that I personally lost that I served in Iraq with to suicide.